Well, it's a beautiful November day and we are finally tackling a big mess which we've been letting get pretty out of control over the last few months. There's a leak somewhere in one of the water canals which leads from the exit of our main water deposit. The water should just overflow from the deposit, run along the canals, and if all the little gates are closed, it would eventually overflow back into the barranco, which is like the little stream which runs around the edge of our land. When I started working on cleaning up some of these canals a little while ago, most of the little doors were like plugged shut with earth and soil, not with the little doors which are supposed to be like plugging them shut, but just through the passage of time they'd got clogged with clay and roots of things, and the whole system worked quite well to divert water through the canals and into the barranco when this thing overflows. But what I've been doing is I've been messing around with the canals and unplugging doors here and there because I wanted to get water out, and I haven't been able to re-plug them again because the actual little stone doors which are supposed to slot in are all broken or missing, and the result is that we have a lot of leaks. The main leak I think is around here. I think I made this leak worse a few months ago, and since then it's just been chaos here because it's super wet. The water is all just kind of seeping out into this area and pooling. We're trying to uncover about 4 garden beds which are submerged and overgrown here. So I think that's it for today. The light is starting to go, so we're gonna have to finish up. I'm really happy with what we've done so far. As you can see behind me, there is a semblance of beds starting to take shape again, so that's good. I've been repositioning the beds slightly because I originally did them to line up with the little gates in the canal, thinking that I could flood irrigate the beds. I've abandoned that plan now. We'll talk more about the irrigation later, that's an ongoing project. But now that I don't need to line the beds up, I've shuffled them all along slightly so that they're less weird sizes, because they were all kind of squished together and awkward sizes before. Mauro was also trying to dig out the rest of the canal. which goes in the other direction. We couldn't see how far it went because it was all buried in soil. We found the end of it, and what we want to do is just open up... Una! We want to open up the end of it so that the water that's now sitting in the canal can drain out of one end into, well, hopefully we're going to dig a little canal that goes along past some of the fruit trees, and the water can drain into there for the time being, just so that it's not going out of the doors and then flooding the area that we've just tidied up, because that's what will happen if we don't redirect this water somewhere else. So yeah, there's a few other things I need to do before it gets dark, and I'm not sure when I'll be able to carry on with this project because it's kind of just a time filler in between other things while we're waiting for materials. But it is good to get started on it, and I feel a lot better now that this area is not quite such a chaotic mess. Okay, it's a few days later and I finally got another chance to work on this. What I want to do today is carry on building out the beds here and rebordering them and knowing where my beds are going to be, and also digging out the channel which is going to be like the overflow channel for the water that's currently just sitting in the canal and then escaping through the various doors and flooding the garden. There's always going to be overflow water from the deposit because throughout most of the year we don't use anywhere near as much water each day as is coming in. We calculated that we are getting about 6,000 litres coming in every day. 6,000 litres is a lot of water. It's more than we need even in the middle of summer, so that water has to go somewhere. What I want to do is dig a canal along the edge of this garden. This is our property border, this stone wall going along here, and I want to dig a long kind of meandering organic shaped channel along here for like maximum amount of space for the water to infiltrate into the ground. Maybe take that channel even to the back of the garden and wind it around some of the fruit trees that we've got growing at the back as well. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, I'm starting to get my organic channel line shape sort of shaped out, so I know more or less where I'm going. So I'm going to unplug this little plug of soil which was kind of stopping some of the water coming this way, and hopefully that'll let the whole channel drain and we'll get more water coming down here. Okay, there's actually one of these little gates in here which I need to get out. I can't remember if I put this gate in or it was already here or it was always buried in mud from the beginning and I just never noticed it. But it seems pretty well stuck. There's roots growing all around it. Una! Okay, there we go. Well, the channel is emptying for sure. It's just kind of gunk left in the bottom now. The water's draining out at the other end where I want it to, so that's good. I'll scoop all of this gunk out of the bottom later and put it in the compost, or maybe just directly on a bed as mulch. I've just noticed something really exciting. Look at this. This is a saffron flower. And I planted these bulbs about, what, 9 or 10 months ago. I planted them back in the winter last year. And the saffron never came up, but here it is now. And these, it's little, are these called the stamen? I can't remember, but those little red things in there are the actual saffron strands, and that is what saffron is. So that's really cool, and there's a few of these in this bed.
Now this is a proper splitting axe. It's not about the sharpness of this. It's kind of like it's a wedge put on a hand axe. So it's heavy. You can like get it in and hammer here. It's just really good.
We only just got this, so
Yeah.
we're just learning how to use it. So don't judge.
Really happy with it. It cuts like butter. Like that other axe that we had before. It's not as good as chopping.
It's not a wood. It's not a wood splitting axe.
Yeah, it's not for splitting. So we just didn't know. And another thing is that the wooden, like for like high impact things like what we're doing, the wooden handle will break a lot faster. Apparently, that's what they tell me. And the fiber handle is much better. So really happy with this axe. Recommended.
We've got a lot of wood to chop, so I guess that's what you'll be doing.
How much do you want?
3.2. That's 3.2?
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting a bit skinny at that end, but that's okay. Okay, we'll cut there. On this plastic here. Okay, so the beds are not all fully prepared, which is where I would have liked to get to today, but I'm pretty happy with this. I think you can see where I'm going. We've got the beds here bordered. I've put an extra little horseshoe shaped one in there as well, otherwise there was just too much path. The black plastic is where the pathing is going to go. We're going to have the path bordered along here, along the edge of the little channel with stones as well. This path will connect up to a path in that section of the garden as well, which goes all the way around behind the water deposit and out the other side. This area also needs some attention, so at some point I'll get to that. And I'll have some sort of little bridge, just a sheet of metal or something going over there. I've been trying to dig out some of this grass, which is the kind of grass that was just proliferating in the beds that were flooded. Not really sure if I'm wasting my time though, because I'm guessing the grass, this kind of grass was growing because of the conditions, and when the beds dry out, maybe it just won't survive there. So I'm not sure whether to dig any more out or not. It's quite hard to get out, so I'm thinking of just leaving it. What's next then, Una? What's next? I guess the next thing is to, if I'm not gonna weed these beds anymore, just to put a big thick layer of compost on top and plant them maybe. Oh, and put the wood chip on the path. Well, it's just started to rain, so I guess that's it for today. Just taking the goats back to their main enclosure. They've been in the middle of the field in a temporary pen doing some rotational grazing today, but they don't like getting wet, so now they need to go back. Although at the moment they're more interested in just eating some of the food that they found on the way. Come on, chop chop. Come on, let's go. So we went to get wood chip this morning for the paths. We've been going to the same place for about a year. We can just take whatever is left on the ground. They were doing like an industrial chipping thing there about a year and a half ago, and what the machines can't pick up from the ground, we're free to take. So I don't know how many carloads we've done so far, but it must be at least 15. And yeah, it's nowhere near close to running out, so which is good because a carload of wood chip, I don't know, 12-15 bags actually doesn't go that far. With what we got today, I've only done this little section of the pathing, and there's still quite a lot more to go. So yeah, the paths around here is just going to be an ongoing job now, so that's just going to go on in the background over the next few months. Yes, I am using plastic on the pathing. Honestly, I've tried with cardboard, I've tried with really thick cardboard, I've tried with like 3 layers of cardboard, and it just doesn't work. It just disintegrates and breaks down after about 6 months, and I would be constantly redoing the pathing if I used cardboard everywhere. I don't feel too bad about using this plastic because it's hidden from the sun. It's not going to break down in the sun like it would do if it was exposed. It's under all the wood chip, and it's not single-use plastic. I think if you're going to use plastic for anything, use it for something that's going to last a really long time and isn't going to end up as waste. You know, it's going to stay here, it's not going anywhere. In that sense, I would obviously rather not be using it, but I'm also not going to feel too bad about it. So yeah, the last thing I want to do today on this is, I think I'm going to pop some compost in these 3.5 new beds that I've got available now, and maybe even plant into them, so that will be exciting. There we go, everything's looking a little bit better now. I've actually uncovered the hugelkultur bed, which was completely overgrown. We've got a couple of pepper plants in here actually, which I have not given any attention to since I planted them, so maybe now they will do something, who knows. This path here is going to join up. I'm going to put another wood chip path in just in this stretch here to join up with the wood chip path that goes off around the corner there. This is what we call a goat salad. Lots of yummy things in there for them, although the funny thing is when you give goats something like this, they're a bit annoying and they just root through it trying to find the bits that they want to eat the most, and they pull everything else out onto the floor. And goats don't like to eat stuff that's been on the floor, so once it's on the floor they kind of then just trample it and ignore it. So I will give this to them, but they'll probably eat only about a third of it at most. So I think we're going to leave it there for this video. I can't show you the final result of the beds that we uncovered from the flooded area because that's just a work in progress now really. We're still doing the paths, we're still planting them, we're still like bordering the edge, so that'll just be something we work on over the next few months. Whenever we go out and get wood chip, we'll get some more, we'll keep working on it. I'm pretty happy with where we've left it though. The beds are drying out and I can actually plant in them now, so that's really good. I did want to show you a happy ending over here though. It's taken us forever, but we've finally managed to process all of the wood from the cypress trees that we felled and from a couple of pine trees that fell down. They've been sitting in this area for absolutely ages and I really wanted to clear it up because they were in the way of where I need to extend the wood store. So yeah, we did one final push on it today and all the wood is out of the way and processed, so that's good, and that means that I can carry on with my wood store when I get a chance. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.